I had the delusional idea a few years ago to draw every day for 4 years straight. And during that time, one of the biggest problems I came across was how does one find their art style? So after years of trial and error, I've collected 8 different ways on how you can find your art style. And just a warning, they get slightly more chaotic, so let's go. Do you see that? Do you see that change? The first step that people often miss is you gotta see what you're working with. So drop what you're doing, find an old art piece, and redraw it. Once you're done with that, you can start observing. So you can see here, the one that I drew a few years ago, the colors are more saturated. And the one that I drew last year, the colors are a little bit more desaturated. The old one, I like to use thick black lines, and the newer one kind of just blends in with the rendering. For the eyes, I used to use just dots. Now they're a little bit more complex. You see, so it's just these small, minute things that can give you an idea of what your art style encompasses. Once you got this down, we can move on to number 2, which expands on this idea. Okay, so I am a visual learner, so honestly, just looking at art, I think is a great way to mentally engrave the style that you want to achieve. So I use Milanote, which is a great tool for organizing any creative projects, which is especially helpful because I know sometimes it's hard when you have inspiration from one website or from one artist and just a bunch of different sources. This can help you organize these thoughts onto specific project boards that you can organize yourself, but if you're not too fond of that, they also have like specific built-in templates. Again, not just for art, there's also templates for interior design, filmmaking, and literally so much more, as you can see here. But anyways, yeah, I have my main project board here and a few sub boards with like specific character design that I want to try and brushes that I've used and want to use more. And you can see from my main project board that a lot of my inspiration comes from Pinterest. And what I love about this specifically is that you can make a direct link to the website so you can easily relay back to the original artist or source. And I think this is especially important in the art community because we always want to make sure to give proper credit. And speaking of art community, although I use Milanote for solo projects, you can also easily collaborate and share your work on here with other artists or friends by inviting others to leave feedback. Anyways, I'll show you real quick how easy it is to get started on a board. So let's expand on my lamb character design board. So I personally love color. I think my main inspiration source is seeing like a really nice color palette, and they have a very convenient color palette function here that allows you to color draw, and it's just a really great way to see these colors work together for me personally. Like if I have a reference photo that has a color that I want to see next to another reference photo's colors, I can just color drop like this and then see them side by side. Super convenient. And I also love to-do lists. Sometimes all the things that I want to try just get mixed up in my head. So if there's something in particular that you just want to try for like a specific art style, in this case, you can just make a quick to-do list, like try thinner line art or avoid using a darker nighttime color palette. Just basically anything that you want to keep in mind and remember when experimenting with your art style. I think this is super helpful. So if you're curious, this board actually helped me design this lamb inspired original character. You can see how all the reference images organized here on this board is kind of encapsulated by this drawing, hopefully. But yeah, don't underestimate the power of organization and observation in art style development. Simply just taking the time to look and visually study a piece can help so much. And of course, organizing the information will just make the whole process so much more efficient. So definitely check out Milanote using the link in my description to start your next creative project. And let's get on to the third way that you can find your art style. Hi, this is Viora in editing mode. Real quick, I noticed while editing that my voice is just getting like more hoarse and more JoJo Siwa Aquafina sounding. You know what? I just been talking all day, okay? So if you notice that my voice is going on a slight decline like it is right now, that is because I was yapping too much. So yeah, just a heads up. Thank you. Bye. Okay, so I'm gonna use my drawing horses for everyday video example to illustrate what I mean for this point. So basically, I drew a horse every day for 30 days straight. And what I noticed almost immediately, like maybe day 4 or 5, is that I already had kind of like a flow on how my horses look like. They all look slightly similar. Scary, a little bit jump scary, but very similar. I did questionably experiment in later stages. Very questionable, I should emphasize. But right off the bat, you can see that they're quite similar in the beginning stages. And I think there's merit to sticking with that gut instinct when you're drawing and kind of seeing where that takes you. Of course, as you continue drawing, you'll begin to change it up a bit, try new styles, but there's always going to be a hint of your own style embedded in the drawing. Does this point make any sense? You get what I'm trying to say, right? Okay, awesome. Now personally, this is the technique that I mainly use to find my art style. It's not the most highly recommended because obviously you want to use references, but this one definitely helped really speed up my process on finding my art style. So you can see here, there's a very kind of questionable jump scare face. And I was relying on references from this show specifically so hard to the point where it basically looked like I was just kind of copying the anime style straight up, like practically down to the specific line art weight and color. I was relying way too much on references. So I'll continue using the same character so it's easier to see the progress, but I was like, okay, you know what? I gotta stop looking at references and just kind of experiment with what I think I would draw him in my style. So you can see already it is quite different from what it was before. And of course, because I wasn't using references, my proportions were a little bit, or I should say very questionable. Like, why is his ear this small? I don't know. But yeah, the proportions are not the best. However, this does give you the freedom to just play around with what you think looks good and what suits your drawing. And in this process, you'll learn what you like to draw, what you don't like to draw, how you like to use line art, how you like to color. I just feel like even if you have a reference right here and you're not actively trying to copy it, stroke by stroke, color by color, there's still going to be a part of you just unconsciously trying to mimic it too closely. So if you just get rid of that reference, you really just have the whole canvas and all the imagination in your hands, and you can just boom, everything is 100% you. Again, proportions may go a little bit wacko, but I already told you they get more chaotic as we go on, so I warned you. I know you're probably so tired of hearing this, but I drew every day for like 4 years straight at this point, and let me tell you, this 100% helped me develop my style fast and easily. Literally all you have to do is just draw a bit every day. The key is in the consistency. Of course, I'm not telling you to like force yourself to draw. Please don't do that. Drawing should be a fun thing, but if you have the means, the will, and the right, why not give it a go? And if you're still watching at this point, hi, you're a real one. So just for you, here are some 3 simple philosophical tips that helped me get this motivation to draw every day. Number 1, draw what you like. There comes a time when you must draw something you're not passionate about, but for now, enjoy it. Number 2, a quick sketch is still a drawing. Don't overthink it. Number 3, get comfy. Put on your favorite PJs and a good show or playlist and draw. I'm sorry, was that a little bit too much? Probably, yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, we're getting a little bit more chaotic because I'm strictly a digital painter, right? But random Viora lore. I tried oil painting and traditional art while also learning digital art, and I don't know where they went, so I don't often talk about it, but I think you can learn a lot about yourself and how you like to express yourself if you swap different mediums. This might be a bit facetious, but I tried caveman style painting for one of my videos, and you can see that the rhino that I drew was very simplistic. Just like my digital art and my traditional art, my sticker art, everything overall has a simplistic feel to it. I don't like putting too much detail. So I can then come to the conclusion that simplicity is a core in numerous mediums of my art style. Again, this is if you have the means to do so, fantastic, because obviously I know oil painting is not cheap, digital art is not cheap. These are big investments, but it's definitely an option to look towards, because if you are swapping out different mechanisms on how you want to express yourself artistically, it can help you realize a core style that you want to embody. Okay, we're almost at peak chaotic, as you can tell, because who draws with a timer, right? Drawing is supposed to be fun and relaxing, take your time. But no, if you want a fun, chaotic way to find your art style fast, whip out that timer and time yourself. I've tried this in a number of YouTube challenges that I've done, like drawing the top 10 hardest things and drawing 40,000 years of art. And I can wholeheartedly tell you that when there is a timer, you feel this slight sense of anxiety and stress, like, okay, I gotta get this out on the canvas. And with that time pressure, I think you lose the thoughts of like, oh, how would this artist draw it? Or like, oh, I don't think my favorite artist would draw it like this. No, you're getting none of these thoughts anymore. Now it's just 100% you, because you are only focused on yourself and what you're putting on paper because of that timer stress. Does that make sense? Like the timer kind of acts like a filter to filter out any overthinking. Yeah, I know it might not be artistically ethical because art is supposed to be fun and relaxing, but hey, I literally said we were getting more chaotic, so wait till you hear the last one. All right, this is peak chaotic at this point, and oh my gosh, my voice is dying. It's dying. I'm so sorry, but we got to keep going. So personally, I myself have never tried this. That's when you know it is peak chaotic. Also, if you made it this far without skipping, because I know some of you are tricky and just skip to the last point to see just how chaotic it gets. You guys are very sneaky, but if you watched all this way up to this point without skipping, you are the best, and I trust you to try this technique out and report back to us in the comments, because yeah, I don't really know what to say for this point, because again, I have not tried this. Wait, you know what? I should try it right now, actually. Yeah, like first time, I'm gonna try it. Let's go. Definitely did not drop my phone. Hi, this is Viora in editing mode. I just realized I did not even say what this last point is. I was just like, yeah guys, it's gonna get so chaotic, and then I never even say what this point is. But yeah, okay, the last point is basically Okay, I think it would be fun if we try and draw Gojo because he is blindfolded, so I think it'd be funny if I'm blindfolded drawing a blindfolded guy, right? Okay, you gotta just trust me for this. My eyes are gonna be closed, blindfolded. I can't see what I'm drawing. Okay, Gojo, blindfolded, let's go. Hey, oh my gosh, wait, this is kind of good. I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting way worse. Or is the bar just like way too low? Like you can't lie and say if you saw this, you wouldn't say it's Gojo. Okay, I don't know if this is a style, but okay, I'm sorry. This last point was kind of a joke on a more serious topic, so I apologize. But you know, we gotta have some fun sometimes, right? Okay, anyways, overall, just take your time and don't be afraid to experiment. And because some of you don't check my beautiful description box with all the information you're looking for, I have the iPad Pro 12.9 inch 4th gen. I use Procreate. These are my favorite brush sets that you can find in the description. And my go-to canvas size is 3847 by 4817. And I use the Apple Pencil. And lastly, for all my real onions out there, did you find my secret message? Question mark. No? Okay, well, have fun finding it. And that's all for now. All right, bye!